Welcome back to the vlog. I don't know, it's been like a few weeks. Things have happened, things haven't happened. Not much has really changed. Except today, happened to come across something. The start of this vlog is going to be more like a time capsule for me. Back to the days when my YouTube first began, and back when things were a little bit more difficult. For years, I reckon this thing that I'm about to show you has been sat there for years, not tidied or anything. Yet it's only today that I come across it now after all these years. Got in this bag not long ago. Has lots of. So I thought, secondary school. This is all my secondary school stuff. And yeah, the planners from the back of the day. Yep. My 8 or 9 days at sixth form. Back at a time where things were a bit more of a mess. Not that you ever saw it, because you just saw me playing video games. So Sims 4 back then. So what do you know? I just look back on this and think, what a waste of paper, what a waste of all these books and stuff. I had all the signs that I shouldn't have really gone and done this at all. Let's see, further maths, physics. I have no idea why I chose that. The fact that I couldn't even choose 3 subjects that I wanted was probably one of my first clues. But tutor period there, it's just right in the middle of it. But it's just not quite overwhelming, but it's just, I don't understand why now. Why am I coming across these things now? Like, I don't get it. Someone who believes in God that's why I'm asking. Why now? Why am I looking at these things now? I've got 4 different books for maths. 2 further maths and one was assessment, it said there. One's got, and that I didn't even start in that book. What you see here is just like 2, 3, 4 pages at most. 3 sheets of paper at most. And then there's like one. I mean, I might see some of this stuff in further maths. Bearing in mind is that for me, the further maths program that I'm currently doing, the pages haven't been updated since 2017-2018, but this was back in 2015, so things might be a little different. This is my one physics one. Again, do not get why I went into this sort of thing, but there we go, that's as much as I did. I feel like this is a total waste of paper, but I feel like I could technically use it for further maths if I run out of the paper that I have, because it fell apart. The pad it came in after about a few days back in September, October, so graph paper's still holding strong though. And there's my last one. There's 2 pages I went into on that. Timetable there, which is what I showed you already, but it's just a strange feeling. I mean, that was September 2015 back then. I'd only just started my YouTube a week or 2 before going into sixth form back then. I'd already posted 5 videos, you can see those over the previous year, but that's when I started committing more to it and thinking, right, I can entertain, perhaps do stuff. I only just reached 100 subscribers now, so that's, yeah, setbacks, what you deal with setbacks, but and I think it was the Thursday on the second week, I don't know, hang on, I could probably look in there and see, but Thursday, second week, I just thought, no, you know what, I'm done. I can't do this, and didn't go in. And the people I did get along with, I don't think I ever saw face to face again. Only a few people when I went to Cambodia, and I had my own issues there as well. I think year 10 or year 9 is probably the last time they saw me when I wasn't burdened by school. I was just, there. I was just there for the last year or so. All I know is, like, my dad wasn't particularly pleased at that point. Mind you, he had his own family issues to deal with, and I wasn't there to help him because I was dealing with all this. So, as I said, in the past, 2015 was a difficult year, but we didn't, like, I should never have joined up a sixth form, and I only did like 8 days of it. But the question I ask myself all the time is, why did I go there for those 8 days? And why was it only after those 8 days that I worked out I had to stop? My mother, as time has gone on, she's realised it was the right call for me to make. I had to just bail out and, refocus myself. And I'm still trying to work things out. I mean, it's been nearly 5 years on, and I haven't had a job or anything. Again, I've been trying to do Twitch stuff, but technology is garbage. Well, I can't use technology. Maybe I need a new computer or better gaming computer. I got a gaming laptop, so I can play games on that, compared to the laptop I'd had since 2010 up to 2017, whatever. But I don't know how much progress I've made. I'm certainly a more mature human being. I'm convinced that I've certainly do things better. Like, I'm a 16-year-old now in a 21-year-old body as opposed to a 10-year-old in like a 15-year-old body. I mean, but yeah, I'm getting there. But someone who believes in God, I know that there's a reason I only did those 8 days, and why I didn't bail out sooner. And just seeing those files, those almost unused files, kind of makes me just wonder, like, what is in there that I still need? What do I need those for, really? Because we could have thrown them out. We could have burnt them. We had something we could burn all newspapers with. I don't know what the thing is called. I mean, it's in the garden somewhere. You probably actually saw it in the patio, like first ever vlog, but I don't know. I don't know why we still have them, but just seeing them today has just made things. It was weird to think about and look at. And other things that are going on right now. Just need to see if it's still on. Yes, it is. No, it's about to turn off. Tennis. I've been playing tennis matches, tennis sets at the club. The singles ladder has been going on. They spiced it up with the people at the bottom and the top having like a 4-0 advantage. You can change people 4 above you and have a 4-0 start, or 3 ahead with a 3-0 start. To spice things up, I benefited once with that, and I also fought back from a 3-love to win one. I finally got into my stride and won a game. But yeah, he's trying to spice up even more, but people aren't really liking it the way it is now. So obviously communication needs work there. But it's nice to be back playing tennis again. Definitely, I can walk home. I'm outside. I think I went 2 months without leaving my street. I've left it at least 3 times last week. So yeah, it's just fresh air. And fresh air is just so underrated. Just natural air. And I also always have fresh food, so I'm always in a relatively healthy state despite the junk food. But yeah, things are going decently well. Also, a couple of Hearts clips to show you as well. There were more, but when I filmed the new Golf with Your Friends set of 18 courses, and I deleted them, and among them I deleted a couple of Hearts clips as well before I put them on the computer. So I ended up removing them after doing all the work. Not that I'm displeased with the replacement golf with your friends. That's worked well, but that did mean I removed a couple of golf with your friends clips. So I mean hearts clips. That was me getting minus 37, and ironically, like the 4 of the other 6 games, I got like over 100, and my luck was awful. So just that one, you just couldn't script this. You'd think it was, but the great thing about Hearts is not just spending time with family, but just the fact that you'd think that game couldn't only surprise you so much, but it surprises me every single time, and that's what makes it so fun to hang out with family. Just no surprise. There's always surprises. It's always, even if the rest of our life's not the most eventful. And further, the A-level maths course that I'm doing, which could have been what I've doing it back in 2015 with the sixth form, but yeah, that's going a lot better now. In April or so, I was still stuck on like 4, and there's like 40 odd activities to do, 40 sections, but I'm on to starting 10 now, so that I'm very happy with. So progress being made there. So there is, however, one glaring issue that I do need to, I feel like, well, you shouldn't speak about it if you feel compelled to, but I feel like I have the opportunity to here, so that's the next clip.
Hello everyone. Lots of people would have known what happened to George Floyd in the last couple of weeks. I think it's his funeral today, or so I read on Twitter anyway. But it's really sad that things like this still happen. At least certainly on the scale that it does. There's always going to be some, it's an imperfect world, but in the police doing that to someone is terrible. Just the fact, the police just makes it all that much worse, because, you know, if something happens to you, you want to be able to knowingly call the police and know things are going to be okay, but if you're afraid to call the police, that's wrong. That's just wrong. That's just a terrible situation to be in. Get off. And it sparked outrage. Like, I totally understand it. Rightly so. Things need to change, but the people who respond in violence, that is wrong. Because, well, the people being racist, like the coppers, like that bad cop anyway, Chavrin, they want you to be violent because they want to be able to have an excuse to respond and kill you or hurt you back. And sometimes they don't even need an excuse, and that's when you point out, hey, hang on, you should be locked up. But no, if you respond with violence, then they have an excuse. That's what they want you to do. So, violent response puts innocent people at risk. Please don't do this. There are so many good ways. The peaceful protests have worked out really well, and then admittedly, they're breaking coronavirus guidelines. And to that end, be careful there as well. There's like no winning at the moment, is there? But if you fight for what is right, all good will eventually prevail. It's also a Stargate movie quote, but there's also just a religious quote, well, a Bible quote. Anything that is good will eventually prevail. And if not, don't fight for yourself, fight for others. Fight for people that can be saved through your effort. That is the least you can do. So, at the end of it all, there's so many ways you can do it. Just simply calling people out on racist things, and then you have to make sure that there are people racist. Don't jump the gun. I remember back in secondary school, there are some people that do jump the gun. I'm not going to sit here and pretend racism isn't as bad as it is, but some people do jump the gun. Like, if you say something they don't like, they can call you racist. I probably have been in that same situation in secondary school, and I, of course, back then don't really follow the news, don't really know what happens. And people talk about white privilege. Yeah, that means that I've not really been that aware about how bad it's been, but I am socially awkward. It was in learning support in year 7, so I have had some biased behaviour against me, but that's also, since I'm not good with people, I've kind of brought it on myself as well, so I've never really took any behaviour against me as racist or particularly mean, because, I mean, I don't have to hang out with them, I'm fine with that. So, yeah, but that's just a little bit biased behaviour against me that, you know, I just don't realise that people deal with a lot worse. Peaceful protests, donating to charity, and don't be worried about yourself in this situation. I remember, as I said many times, the TRG Coliseum that donated $230,000. People like, save money for yourself. But yeah, it's noble to want other people to still have money and stuff, but put yourself last in this situation. Donate for good causes, good reasons. And if you think about yourself factoring into donating money, this issue is more important than keeping money for yourself. I know I don't gain money, so I'm always a bit unsure about donating to things, but if there is something that you really care about, then donate bits to it. It doesn't have to be much. You don't have to go on the front news. In fact, it's probably preferable that you don't advertise it, but encourage other people. Just because you haven't advertised yourself on Twitter, hey, I donated £100 for charity, it doesn't mean you didn't do it. So, just, yeah, I need to write a script for these. You really think something is good things will prevail, but what you can control is if you're good or you're evil. And if you're good, then help change things. Because sitting around doing nothing does let the bad people in sometimes. Because one person says, no, I don't think I can help. And then lots of other people have done it, and all of a sudden, not enough people have voted to change things. So, and it doesn't have to be money. I mean, these TRG Coliseum musicians, I've already seen a couple that have started charity streams, unofficial ones, not group, like the TRG Coliseum was a group effort, but their own streams have been modified to raise money. I know Sawareen did one, Family Jewels did one. So, even if you've never streamed before, you can get your friends or people on the phone to help you, guide you, and if you think you can do something that's entertaining that people will donate to, go and do it. Because technically you're not paying your own money, but you're encouraging other people to do the same. I mean, you know, there's just so many ways, and I really hope that these protests that are happening in the midst of the coronavirus aren't for nothing. That's what we need to do for sure, just to make sure that what's happened now, the people that have suffered because of the protests or whatever, that suffering has not been forgotten, that we actually get to an end result that provides a better future for everyone. And there is no room for there's no room for racism or anything like that. Isn't that right, boy?
What am I agreeing to?
No racism, there's a positive message for people. Anything you could say? I mean, you're more familiar with Bible readings, that might be useful in this situation.
Let's treat people as people.
Yeah.
All men are born in the sight of God and all that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
in
mean,
any
there's
case-
one I'm thinking of is This is one Bible quote that I'll always remember most. God never gives you more than you can handle. We're all equal.
So
At the
therefore,
moment,
if that's how
at-
God looks at us.
at all
That's how
times,
we should look at each other.
yes, at all times, like I'm equal to him. He's equal to the people, the
Instinct.
children crying, children playing out in got a few guns away. You know.
Status, certainly.
Yeah. Hopefully, something for you to remember.